These 5 things are the prescription to get healthy and fit. Coach Barrick here, Equity Podcast, giving you tools to be fit for life. I like frameworks. When we have frameworks for our life, careers, fitness, relationships, whatever it is, it helps the decision making process. I don't have to make decisions all the time, and we don't get that decision fatigue, that willpower fatigue. Hey, I don't eat desserts during the week. Like, now you have that framework. If a dessert comes up during the week, you only have to make that choice once, right? You don't do that thing. So frameworks can be super, super helpful for helping us get to those goals that we want to reach. So we're going to talk about 3 different frameworks. The first one is this overarching, the 5 factors of health. So there are factors in our health that we can control and that we can't control. So things that we can control are things like our genetics. Well, we can't control those yet, but we do not have control over what our genetics are. So, we might be predisposed to X, Y, and Z, and we can't change that. However, the 5 things that we do have control over are our sleep and recovery, our nutrition, how we train, our mindset, and then how we connect to the world. So, controlling these 5 things, putting effort, putting time, putting resources to these 5 things are going to help us be healthier and happier in our world, right? We're going to be healthier, and that's what we want to be around. We want to kick ass into our 90s. Most people understand sleep, nutrition, training, and connecting with yourself, others, and nature. People understand those concepts. However, the mindset, how do I think about mindset? Now, there's a lot of different things that we can use to talk about mindset, but our next framework is what we call the hierarchy of mindset. And this is one framework that we can use just for the mindset piece. There's others that we can use to help us with that. But the first one, this hierarchy, it's 5 different levels. All right. So the first one is the victim mindset. We a victim says a person with the victim mindset says, I am not in control of my actions. Everything else is on me, and I don't have control over my life. It's not my fault, it's somebody else's fault. This is the worst place we can be at, the victim mindset. We need to get out of that as fast as possible in all areas of our life. Our next one is a pessimist. All right, so we have victim, pessimist. Pessimist, everything is bad, everything's negative. You know this person. And I think it's relatively obvious why that is bad, because there's good things in this world. We don't want to always be thinking in that negative. If we're always thinking in the negative, we're probably not going to have a lot of good things in our life. The next one is the optimist. Victim, pessimist, optimist. Some people might say, hell, this is the peak, this is the ideal, but it's not. An optimist is everything is good. This is going to be great. This is great. That's great. Everything's great. It's all good. It's going to be awesome. This is not the highest, because that's not how the world works. The world isn't all sunshines and rainbows. The people, there's a book by a military general. His name is escaping me right now. And he was a prisoner of war. And when he came back, he would get interviewed and like, hey, who were the people that didn't last as a prisoner of war? And he's like, it was the optimists. It was the people that thought that they would get out by December or by Christmas, and Christmas would come and go. And then, we'll be out by Easter, and Easter would come and go. And eventually they just didn't have anything left. So that optimist actually, in this scenario, being a prisoner of war, is actually worse than the pessimist. Like the pessimist, I'm never going to get out of here. So An optimist isn't always going to be that best option. What we would rather say is, hey, I'm going to get out of here eventually, but I don't know when. And this type of person is what we would call a realist. We want we don't want to be positive or negative. We just want to understand that the world, the events around us are different. Things are going to happen. There's going to be good times, there's going to be bad times. There's up and downs in the world, in our life. There's going to be good times, there's going to be bad times. And when both of those things happen, when both of those things happen, they're not going to stay around forever. If we have a hot streak, eventually that hot streak is going to end. If we're having a cold streak, eventually that cold streak is going to end. We need to understand that that's happening. So that's victim, pessimist, optimist, realist. And then finally, the last one, what we call the warrior mindset. And that is when we seek out challenge. We want to reach out and find places to challenge ourselves. And every single person that walks into equity has done this. Walking into a new gym is scary, and you have to get outside your comfort zone to do that. So, everybody who's ever joined the gym has been in the warrior mindset before. You walked into a new environment that was different and intimidating and full of people that you don't know and you don't understand anything. That is getting uncomfortable and growing. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to find. What is that thing that's going to help you grow? What's that thing that's going to help you become a better person? We want to seek out challenge. You do not get better by doing the same thing. You do not get better by taking the easy road. If it is worthwhile, everything worthwhile is uphill. Do the hard thing. Lean into the challenge. You don't achieve a new level just going through the motions. And also these mindsets, these different levels, you can be in a different level throughout the day. You can be in a different level in different areas of your life, right? You might be searching for challenges in your fitness, but in your career you're not. We're just, you know, content with where we're at. So different areas of our life we can be in different situations. All right. So we have the framework of the 5 factors. We have the framework of the hierarchy of mindset. The last one is the prescription. This is what you need to do in order to improve your health. This is what we prescribe. Do these 5 things, and your health is going to get better. We're going to reach that ideal of reaching that point of where we want to get to. We're starting here. You do these 5 things consistently over time, and we're going to get healthier and be in a better position than we were before. The first thing is based on that sleep, and that's 8 hours of sleep. Again, this is an ideal. This is the prescription. We want to build to this. We want to get to it. That doesn't mean it's easy, but we want to build up to that. 8 hours of sleep. For nutrition, we want single ingredient food. A steak is a steak, chicken's chicken, broccoli's broccoli, eggplant's eggplant. Single ingredient food. Rice is rice, potatoes, potatoes. Single ingredient food. Real whole food. Training. We want to train 4 days a week. We want to kick ass in life. We want to kick ass into our 90s. We want to be able to do all the things that we want to do in our life. We want to be able to travel. We want to be able to sit on the ground with our grandkids, with our kids. We want to be able to play pickup volleyball. And in order to do all of those things, we need to be strong. We need to have a strong cardio base. We want to be able to move our body in space. We need all these things, and training 4 days a week will help us live our life to the fullest. The mindset. We want to think like a warrior. We want to start identifying as that type of person. I am a person that does hard things. I am the type of person that seeks out challenge, that wants to grow, that is constantly working towards better. And then finally, the connection. I kind of talked about this a little bit, but we want to be able to connect with ourself, with others, and with nature. Getting out, going for a walk in the woods. We want to be able to sit down and be comfortable being in our own head for 10, 20, 30 minutes without constantly scrolling on the phone or listening to something. Like, can you just drive to work with no sound on? Can you just be in your own head, right? Can you talk about and think about and write down the things that you want in your life? And then we want connections with other people. We want relationships with other people. The more relationships we have, the richer, fuller life we have. Four, we've talked about this in a previous podcast, but the four indicators of longevity are leg strength, being able to sit on the ground and get up, um, grip strength, being able to carry things, being able to carry weight for 100 feet, um, our VO2 max, what kind of conditioning do we have, how much oxygen can I use, and then finally is the number of relationships. People that have more relationships later in life live longer. People that have more leg strength live longer. People that have more grip strength live longer. People that have a higher VO2 max live longer. We're not looking for a single indicator. We want a group of indicators. Just like a doctor checks different things on a blood test, right? We're going to check all those things. We're going to check our body fat. We're going to check our lean muscle mass. We're going to check our triglycerides, our blood pressure, all of these things, our leg strength, our number of relationships, close relationships. When we take all those five things together and we do those things consistently, our health is going to improve and we're going to be ready to get better and lead a better, healthier life. I hope this helps. If you think this might help somebody, if you know somebody that is talking about health every once in a while and starting to want to improve their health, please send this to them. We want more happy, healthy people in the world, and that's what we're trying to do here at Equity. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to improve your health and fitness. Thank you. Cheers.